No one can afford homes in the United States of America. I said what I said and I meant it. Let's start with how much the average home costs. As a 23-year-old, I'm considered a young adult. I do not have $400,000 lying around in my pocket. Nor are any loan or approvers probably going to approve me because what? I'm 23 years old. A lot of you are probably saying, well, what about your job and how much do you make? That's besides the point, right? Because everyone is supposed to be able to afford a home in the United States of America, right? It's the American dream, the white picket fence, the kid. No, that's not the case no more. Y'all are lied to. I am so tired of being gaslit by our government, making it seem like we are the problem. So then tell me, why are interest rates so high on houses, right? Because that's your doing. The next thing is, let's talk about why the homes are so expensive besides the interest costs. The amount of money that it takes to build a home now is astronomical. And y'all's friend said he wanted to put tariffs on other countries. The material is already extremely expensive to build and no one can afford it. Not even builders can afford it. That's why the homes are so expensive. Now for people who already have their home and have already bought their home, that's great and that's nice and all for you that your prices are extremely high and that you probably purchased it for $99,000 and it's probably worth over $500,000, $600,000. That's really nice for y'all. But how about the people who want a house as well? Think not only about yourself, think about your kids or your grandchildren that may want a house in the future. It's not fair to anyone. And then y'all force us and gaslight us to live under rent, where it also increases every year. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. The housing market is gonna crash and no one is gonna like what happens next. But don't say everybody ain't been telling y'all.
Them motherfuckers can't understand why we can't afford to buy homes. These are 2 shotgun houses. They're shotgun houses and the price is starting as... What the fuck is that? These are Yo. And they say we can't afford homes. Yeah, no shit. Look at these fucking... What the fuck?
So I need to come up with $4,000 by April 20th in order to secure a cheaper apartment that I'm looking into. They want $250 per cat for a pet deposit. Why do I have 3 cats? $120 for the application fee already. I saw someone else do this on TikTok with their student debt. She went live and everybody donated roses and she was able to pay off $20,000 in student debt. I think 1 rose counts as $1, so if I get 4,000 roses, I can move into my apartment. That is more affordable. Do I think this is gonna work? Absolutely not. But am I going to try it? Yeah, because I'm out of ideas. So if you see me go live, that's what's going on. Come and hang out in the chat. You don't have to donate, but that's where I'll be all day. We'll see how this goes. It's gonna be an interesting experiment, but it's worth a shot, I guess. I'll see you guys there.
I was working with an 85 and an 87-year-old couple today, okay? Right? And they told me that they bought their first house for $13,000 and how times are tough now. And it's crazy that these people are old as hell telling me that times are extremely tough and how they're struggling. They worked so hard all their lives and now even they are struggling. The $13,000, bro. They bought a house. Not a little house either. They told me about it. I don't remember the details, but it was a big house. Big house, like 4 bedrooms. $13,000.
Whenever I talk about housing in New Hampshire and how it's absolutely astronomically expensive and getting more expensive every year, there's some version of this comment, and there's nothing wrong with this comment. This is a great comment. This is a person sort of looking at things from the ground level. They're building stuff. It's not affordable. It's not helping. Prices aren't coming down. Your taxpayer dollars fund reports by experts who study the housing situation from above, and they look at what would be necessary to make life livable for the people in this state. It's in New Hampshire Housing. There was a 2023 housing needs assessment where they went through what's happening to housing in New Hampshire. And I just wanted to, your tax dollars paid for this, so I wanted you to go through this and understand that this is what experts who study housing say about the place you live. We immediately, by next year, to stabilize the market and keep it from continuing to get even more insane, would need to instantly create 23,000 more units of housing. Over the next 15 years, we need to create 90,000 more units of housing. The rise in rents and home prices is outpacing wages, and if we don't do that, it's going to continue outpacing wages. More and more people are going to get priced out of homeownership and be trapped renting, which is even worse in terms of the speed at which costs are rising. The state's extremely low vacancy rate favors higher income renters. It pushes rentals above affordability for almost everyone else. And here's the thing. The people who run for office at the top, Kelly Ayotte, she has seen this. The people in the legislature who are making decisions, they've seen this. So you got to understand, year by year, when they do nothing, it's not that they don't understand the problem. It's that they're choosing not to solve it because they're cowards and they don't care. The scale of the betrayal, particularly on the Republican side, and the Democrats are wrestling with this, sure, and some of them are less sympathetic and some are more sympathetic, but on the Republican side, the debate was, how can we fix housing? They had to say something, so they said, oh, we'll have the Department of Transportation approve highway permits more quickly. That was all they were going to do. They're staring at this. They've read this report. So now you've read it too, and you understand the extent to which people know what's going on and what's needed to fix it, and they're choosing to distract you with trivialities or not address it at all.
Let me summarize for you just how unaffordable it's become for the average American to buy a house in the United States. The average household income in the United States is $80,000 a year, and a financial advisor recommends that you spend only 25% of your after-tax income on your housing budget. Your after-tax income, if you make $80,000 a year, is $60,000. And if you were to take 25% of that on a monthly basis standpoint, your monthly mortgage payment should be no more than $1,250 per month. A $1,250 per month mortgage budget only affords you a $175,000 home. But the average home price here in America is $420,000. So the average household in America can only afford a $175,000 home, but the average home price is $420,000. That, simply put, is the entire issue that Americans are dealing with right now. Do not let anybody ever tell you that right now is the right time to buy. The right time to buy a house is when you can afford it, and that's it. And if you can't afford it, that's totally fine. Renting is okay. I'm a realtor saying that. Way too many realtors out there are trying to tell you that right now is the right time to buy. It is a realtor's job to help you buy or sell your house when you decide it's the right time, but it is not a realtor's job to tell you when that right time is.
If you're not familiar with Blackstone, you probably should be, because they're one of the main reasons why housing is the way it is today. And if we take a look at who exactly Blackstone is an American alternative investment management company based in New York City. Blackstone's private equity business has been one of the largest investors in leveraged buyouts over the past 3 decades, while its real estate business has actively acquired commercial real estate across the globe. Here's what that Wikipedia link doesn't tell you, though. They also do residential real estate. And I mean a lot of residential real estate. And if we take a look at some of the most recent real estate deals that they did, $10 billion housing investment for apartments. This was in June. And then if we look in January of this year, another $3.8 billion in real estate. And if you thought it stopped in America, it doesn't, because in June of this year, they spent another $740 billion on rental homes in the UK. Now, you would think, being an investment firm and buying real estate, they would want to help the average everyday consumer out and put them in affordable housing, right? Well, that's what their mission statement says, because in April, they dropped this, titled, Our Commitment to Being Responsible Owners. And then it goes on to say that Blackstone is incredibly proud of its investment in housing. We bring our expertise, responsible ownership approach, and capital to the industry, having spent billions of dollars through both our equity investments and lending activities to make existing communities better places to live, add to the supply of housing, and create thousands of jobs in local communities. And then they say that we hold ourselves and our operators to the highest standard of care and put the well-being of our residents first. We prioritize open and transparent communication, best-in-class management, meaningful investment, and respect for our residents and community impact. Very interesting mission statement there. There's a problem with it, though, because this report came out today that says that Blackstone has increased its rent prices for its San Diego units by an average of 38% or $600 since it acquired them in 2021. Now you tell me, based on that mission statement and based on that news that we just saw and the numbers of it, is Blackstone really out here helping its residents the way they say they are, or are they simply adding to the housing crisis that we already find ourselves in? And if you didn't catch it, that was a rhetorical question.